Hi, Happy New Year. Is this the year that you're going to get that credit card debt paid off? Is that your resolution? Well, great to see you here and learning all the ways that you can do that. I am going to go through a plan that will help you get your credit cards paid off and make sure that you stay there. Debt avalanche versus debt snowball. So these are the two most common ways that people pay off their debts. In the debt avalanche, what the principle is mathematically, it makes the most sense because you're going to pay off your highest interest rate credit card first. So you pay everything, get that credit card down. Once you've paid that off, you then pay your next lowest credit card, then the next one until they're all paid off. Now, financially, that makes the most sense. Like I said, mathematically, that is the way you're going to save the most interest expense being paid because you're paying off that highest one. Now, one of the issues you can find with that is that if that high interest one is also a large balance, you can maybe not see progress. So if you owe $20,000 and you pay it down 15, 10, but it's been a while and it just feels like I still have that debt, but if you need to see progress, you may want to try the debt snowball. And what the debt snowball is it says take the card with the lowest balance, so the least amount of money you owe, pay that one off, then take all the money you've used to pay that one and pay it to the next one. Now, mathematically, your lowest balance may not be the highest interest rate, so you're still going to be paying more interest than on the avalanche method. However, it can help you see that you are paying down that debt. So for example, in this case, if you had a $5,000 credit card, you pay it all down, it's at zero and that card is gone, or the debt is gone. And then you move that money to the next one and you can see that success and that keeps you motivated. Say, hey, I've got one paid off. Yay, great, woohoo. Then you go and pay the next one off. And so that can sustain you over time. So you really need to consider how your personal finance, your personality, your money thoughts play into which method you choose to pay down your credit card, because that can have a big impact. A lot of advice, do the avalanche, pay the less interest. But there's other things to consider, and that's what makes personal finance personal. So you've decided which card you're going to pay off regardless of which method you're using. You're going to take that dollar value and you're going to, your balance as of today, and calculate, if I wanted to pay it off in 1 year, 2 year, or 3 years, what is that amount I need to pay that off? So that is the amount that you need to pay off that principal, that balance that you owe today. What that doesn't account for is the interest that'll be accruing every month as you pay it off. So one of the ways to simplify it, rather than figuring out, oh, how much interest am I going to have to add on to there every month and it fluctuates, a very easy way to do that is just make your minimum payment plus that payment. Generally, your minimum payment is going to cover your interest, and then that extra payment you make is going to cover your balance as of today and pay it down. So what this does is it ensures that you're going to pay that balance off by that date you've decided, 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, whatever it is, and not get into a situation where you've made that calculation to pay off that balance today, but your interest comes in and it takes a little bit away every month. And then you get to the end of a year and you're like, yay, I'll be paid off. Oh, wait, I get the bill and I still have these small amount of credit card interest left there to pay for the next month. And it might take the wind out of your sails. So the way to do that, I think, is pay your minimum payment plus that payment amount. Now, once you finish paying off that first card, if you have multiple credit card debt to pay off, you're going to take that entire amount and apply that to the next card. And so what that'll do is it'll change it up a little bit. Is you would be able to say, okay, I'm still going to pay the minimum payment on that second credit card, plus I'm going to pay what I was paying on the first card. And then when you have that, you're going to take your balance as of that date on the second card, divide it by that amount you're paying extra from the first card, that'll tell you how long you need to pay off that bill. Now, if you need to, you can add more onto it to make sure you're paying it off in a timely manner. Okay, now the final part of this plan to really make it work really well for you is to set up automatic payments for those amounts all the time. So if you're paid monthly, you can do it once a month. If you're paid bi-weekly, you can figure out how much it is. But what I want you to do is every month make an automated payment, if you can, to always be paying that minimum plus the amount you figured out that you need to pay off that credit card. The more you can put it into your budget and make it a bill to pay off, the more likely you are going to stick to it. When you say this is what I want to pay, and then you're like, well, if I have enough money left at the end of the month, that's what I'll pay. That's when it starts getting missed that month, or an unexpected bill comes up and that happens. You're changing that mindset to make it part of your mandatory bills, no different than rent or utilities or your food that you need to eat. And then super bonus, at the end, after you've paid off those credit cards, you now have a chunk of money sitting there every month that you can then use to your other things. So for example, for us, once we paid off all our credit card debt, we now have that chunk of money. We're putting it towards a kitchen remodel. You could put it towards vacation. You could put it towards cars, anything that attracts your interest. You have that chunk of change now in your budget that you can use for other things. So I hope you found this helpful. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you want to learn more about credit cards, check out this video over here.